Hello and welcome back to Führerreich. We've taken Denmark, but before we start taking any more territory, I think we should grow the Stahlpact, or the Stahlpact. The Steel Pact, that is our faction, by the way. Sort of covered by the divisions there, but Stahlpact. So we're going down to the foci that bring other countries into our alliance. The Romanians, the Finnish, and the Turks. That creates a pretty good sort of cordon against the Soviets, as well as brings in, it brings in, Turkey, which is, I would imagine, harbors some revanchist tendencies towards the Entente after the Entente they didn't balkanize them, they cut them to pieces, they cut them up and, divided the territory. We do, however, also have some free dockyards, which will be all put towards creating the Type 7 class submarine. Eric Blair. Tides of Revolution. Eric Blair, of course, is George Orwell. Eric Arthur Blair. George Orwell was his pen name. The British writer known as Eric Blair has released The Tides of Revolution earlier today, the plot of which ended up being... Oh no, this is Kaiserreich. Which ended up being received as shocking and controversial by a strong majority of the imperial populace. A gripping story about a British sailor fighting on behalf of the Free Pact. Okay. In a global scale war, the book details a world in which the Entente won the Great War, but at a dire cost. A lack of American entry to the Great War culminated in a much more drawn-out and bloodier Great War, which ruined many Western member states of the Entente. With both the Entente and Central Powers on the brink of collapse and unable to sustain further conflict, a shaky peace arrangement was reached, which resulted in surprisingly little territorial concessions by either side. As the Entente was desperate to see the Bolshevik threat put down, they intervened to ensure victory of the Whites in the Russian Civil War. With the end of a bloody Great War, without any newly acquired territories to glean, France soon fell into civil war between the Republicans and Socialists, with the latter being the victor. In the process, all of their colonial holdings were either seized or declared independence. On the other side of the Rhine, a strong nationalist sentiment began to rapidly brew in Germany and Russia, both of which quickly fell to nationalist rhetoric. Two nations reached a common ground and shortly formed an alliance with the goal of ensuring global domination by the two countries. Additionally, with the British Empire passing the Statute of Westminster and steadily decentralizing, coupled with the Austro-Hungarian Empire reforming into a federation of equals, the two nations quickly found themselves as the only liberal democracies remaining in Europe. In the Americas, the United States is struggling with internal politics more than ever. Recent revolutions in Europe led to a colossal rise of nationalists and socialist sentiments. With polarization on the rise, a civil war broke out, damaging the United States beyond repair. The novel ends with a 6-year-strong Second Great War between the French PRI, the Russo-German Axis, and the Free Pact, leading to a tragic loss of life across the world. Whilst often criticized for lack of historical foundation and extensive creative liberties, it has nonetheless become a bestseller amongst the British Empire. Is he trying to make the universe as bad as possible? Well, he is a writer of dystopian fiction. The Russian Republic declared war on the Union of Socialist Republics. Okay, so the Russian Republic in the east here is trying to reclaim Russia, I suppose. Send volunteers. Yeah. Actually, I doubt they can do anything, though. Like, I doubt they can actually win, because they're so small, right? 40 to 55. They actually don't have the worst chances, but if we send anyone, they're going to be recalled eventually soon anyways, and we are going to be going to war with a bunch of people, because they're going to be recalled because we're going to go to war. Right? So, should we even bother is my question. Protection for the Romanians is done. Let's do Finnish friends. Did that just immediately, yeah, it just adds them to the pact. Interesting. I was expecting there to be an event where they could refuse, but I guess there isn't. Chile is in the Pacific Alliance. An alliance consisting exclusively of Chile. Alright then. Kingdom of Poland declared war on the Kingdom of Lithuania. Well, this sounds like grounds to intervene. At least to me. Sadly, I don't think we can, because we need all that manpower in the field. We can possibly now create light tank. Oh, Lithuanian war for independence. So we can propose an alliance with Lithuania. Could easily be turned around if Germany was to intervene. This is not only... Oh, yes, propose an alliance with Lithuania. We will intervene in the war. Lithuania refuses our alliance. Fuck you. Well, we will then take Lithuania. Take Lithuania for ourselves as well then. Firefighting drills done. Let's keep improving the radar. Almost got a doctrine research done. As well as the Finnish friends. A toast to our Finnish friends. To combine our efforts to weaken the Soviets, Finland has agreed to join the Stahlpact. Together, we will keep Russia out of the Baltic. Hour of the Baltic? Yo, this mod has a lot of small spelling mistakes. Every time you write something, read it over. Make sure that whatever you've written is actually what you intended to write. We can offer protection for the Polish. We will not, because we will take Poland. Wait, can we not do Eastern European outreach? Oh, we need one of the following, yeah. Talks with the Turks. Tbilisi Pact, that's interesting. But we gotta grow the Stahlpact. Just get everyone in it as soon as possible. Everyone we can. So that if something happens, if there is a war, we have the numbers to begin with. Yeah, we're gonna go with the indirect approach with Karl Dönitz. More light tanks, add them to this one, because that's the one where we're training. Lithuania was annexed. Possibly gonna be freed then, or as a puppet, I suppose. Like Slovakia was. How much manpower do we have in the field right now? 914,000. So we're closing on that 950,000 that we need for these. Synarchist Mexico declared war on the United States of America. What are you doing, Mexico? Banned the Danish from Holstein politics. I mean, that's harsh. Alliance with Sweden. Yes. Yes, yes. German claims to the west, not yet. So should we do Falkist coup in Austria, or should we do the fate of Denmark? Let's do the Falkist coup in Austria first, because I have a feeling that might not require us to actually declare war. Yeah, and we should actually reform the Thule Schutztruppen. I think we should reform them into elite troops and not police forces. The encryption is really good. And the partisan thing is good because we don't need... oh, and this one is really good as well. But... generally, this stuff is just extremely good. Free factories, a lot of bonuses to research, and so on. So TSD supporting roles or TSD divisions. It would either be police force and then down to the right, or divisions and then somewhere in here. By the way, I've mentioned it before, but the flag that you see in the thumbnail is of course not the same flag that you see here. I don't like the flag here. But the flag you see in the thumbnail was made by a member of our Discord called BobbertCanuck. He is very good at making flags and stuff for, like, imaginary flags and whatnot. A lot of people are, like, asking him in the Discord, like, could you make this? Could you make this? And he does it every time, and it's awesome every time. Our coup in Austria was defeated. The well-planned coup led by Ernst Kaltenbrunner was smashed today as the putschists were caught in a firefight with Austrian policemen and members of the army. After securing most of Vienna, the putschists were trying to march into the Austrian parliament, where the Austrian government under Dollfuss was currently holding a conference. They were caught in a firefight with members of Austrian police and loyal soldiers of the Austrian army, which, with reinforcements coming in from St. Pölten, was able to repel the putschists and disperse them. Dollfuss has officially denounced Germany for trying to undermine the Austrian government. He called the coup the final insult by Germany. Well, we will not tolerate this. Austria has ignored the ultimatum. So much for not declaring war. Yesterday we gave the pitiful Austrian nation the offer to join the Greater German Empire. As generous as our offer was, it seems that Austrian politicians, blind to the desires of their people, have chosen to ignore it. No nation in Europe has spoken up against our claims to the Alpine territory, and as such we will not need to worry about any foreign intervention as our armies march into Austria. We will be dining in Vienna by the end of the week. Well, they have a lot of mountain divisions. We just need to move over this army. Probably don't need anything more than that. We could, in fact, move the panzers over as well. Let's see, which panzer group do we move? Let's give these guys even more experience. Let's stop him from doing anything stupid now. Just pin them. And let's send in the Thule Schutzgruppe, or Truppe. Just to get someone to hold the border. Convoy interdiction is done. Unrestricted submarine warfare. That, you know, never ever caused any trouble for the Germans historically. Let's start doing the, yeah, let's do this stuff, the air reform stuff. Are we... the Austrians even have an air force? And did I even assign an air force to, or any air squadrons to these guys? I did not. Let's see, do we have any leftover fighter wings? We do. And let's grab a close air support wing as well. There we go. Now we should be getting some air aid over here. Everyone is still forming up on the line, so we gotta give them a little bit of time here. lot of people are out of organization and such. Okay, so the Austrians here have just won themselves out during an assault on us, which means we can counterattack immediately and take a lot of, well, basically just take those mountains. They've been baited into into overextending then, I suppose. Which means that should we get our organization back, we can counterattack. I'm just pinning these guys so they can't reinforce these. So we can actually take this mountain here. Not that the mountain there necessarily means anything. Problem with fighting in the Alps... Oh, never mind, they actually got reinforcements in. The problem with fighting in the Alps is that it's the Alps. And generally, the Alps and war are a combination that don't really mix all that well. Not even Hannibal could deal with the Alps. People always say, you know, Hannibal, Hannibal Barca or whatever you want to, however you want to pronounce it. I don't speak ancient Carthaginian, but he marched his elephants across the Alps into the Republic of Rome to meet their armies. People always say that as if, you know, that was a relatively smooth affair. It was not. He lost, like, most of his army crossing the Alps. Alright, we now have organization over here, and we have a bulge, which means we can attack. Actually, they need to attack last, because we don't want the river crossing penalty. Interesting, so we actually aren't even able to take this, or to push through here. I think we need some drastic measures. The Austrians are basically just attacking periodically to keep our oh, they have no manpower. To keep our organization low, which means that we can't counterattack. However, as we just witnessed, they have run out of manpower. Which means we can, in theory, wait them out. Let's just double check our infantry squadrons. They're good. Don't need any anti-tank or anything. Well, actually, hold on. We don't even have recon. We need recon. Support, or yeah, support recon companies. Those are really good. And we could use a medium tank division now. Duplicate. This will be the... Those are just called the Panzer divisions. Well, this will be the what do you call a medium panzer in German? I'll call it this for now, and then I'll rename the Panzer Division. I think this works. Light Panzer Division, Light Tank Division. Or it would be light... Yeah, it would be light and then space. Again, not a German speaker, so... Forgive me if it is outrageously, horrendously, horribly wrong. But here we go, medium tanks. Let's add another motorized infantry for good measure. Let's add a maintenance company for good measure. Let's make these guys a bit more beefy, because we're starting to... Wait, actually, are we gaining a stockpile? Never mind, we're not. Oh, we are gaining a stockpile, but we don't have one, so we're not going to make it more beefy, because then they need to reinforce. But yeah, the Austrians are going to lose inevitably. But... we are going to have to suffer some manpower losses in fighting through the Alps here. Have they swapped their... No, they have not. They've not swapped conscription laws or their wartime industry laws, so at least that's good. We should get the next gun here, the MP38, because we do have the research company on. We can start that production. We gotta do that sooner rather than later, so we can get the production efficiency up. Let's start getting all this stuff as well. The industrial stuff that impacts how fast we can produce our equipment. Because each one of those techs is going to sort of alleviate some of the pressure on the other stuff. Well, let's see if we can't get this now. I probably should be setting up war plans at this point, because this is taking longer than I expected. And that's when you want to do that. Though, I do have to actually, end this episode early. The last one was a lot longer, this one is a bit shorter, sorry for that, but thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you can find a lot of info in the description, mod list you can find, or the mod, you can find my Discord, you can find the Patreon, and you can find my Twitch, where I stream. Every now and then, I'm streaming Democratic Japan in the Führerreich mod. That playthrough is also going up on YouTube in the form of VODs. Like, basically a long recording of the stream, 2.5 hours usually. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.